FTX US received a cease and desist warning from the United States Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation on Friday, telling the crypto exchange to stop issuing false statements and misleading consumers about the insurance status of their products. 4 other crypto companies were given the warning by the FDIC. These are smartasset.com, cryptonews.com, cryptosec.info, and FDICcrypto.com, of which it's pretty strange to see crypto news in this section. You kind of expect they didn't really promote anything with an FDIC insurance, so it's kind of strange that they're in a list like this. Why would they be given a cease and desist letter by the FDIC? The regulator claims that these companies misled consumers on the FDIC's coverage of certain crypto-related commodities. So maybe a place like Crypto News covered, saying that FTX is fine. Now, the FDIC noted in a press statement that, as per evidence gathered by the FDIC, each of these companies made misleading claims, including on their website and social media profiles, that certain crypto-related products or stocks held in brokerage accounts are FDIC insured. And that's not a good thing to do if you're not certain about it, because some people, they think, oh, it's fine, it's good to go. And then when things go bad, they're like, well, it's fine, right? And the company says, yeah, sorry, actually not. The FDIC don't like that. The FDIC doesn't like that. Now, FTX crossed the line. According to a letter delivered by the FDIC to FTX US, the crypto exchange's president, why did I say persistent? Brett Harrison crossed the line with a tweet made on July 20th saying, direct employer deposits at FTX US are held in FDIC-insured bank accounts in the user's names, and stocks are held in FDIC-insured and SIPC-insured brokerage accounts. Sam Bankman-Fried, a crypto billionaire, owns FTX US, and the exchange is headquartered in the Bahamas and is mostly concentrated on expanding its operations beyond the US. So, he said, per the FDIC's instruction, I deleted the tweet. The tweet was written in response to questions raised on Twitter regarding whether direct US deposits from employers were held at insured banks. As an example, Evolve Bank. The FDIC asserts that FTX US and its affiliated organizations may have violated the FDIC laws by making directly or indirectly false and misleading claims concerning FTX US's deposit insurance status. The FDIC has made it clear that it does not offer any sort of insurance protection or brokerage account and that it does not cover stocks or crypto. So I think the misconception here lies in the fact that he was trying to say, yeah, direct deposits of dollars are fine and are insured. And then also that stocks are held in some sort of SIPC, FDIC joint account or whatever, brokerage accounts. FDIC says we don't do that, and they kind of interpreted this statement as saying, all your crypto is FDIC insured as well, even though he later on cleared up that it's only USD. But then the stocks part is kind of, I'd say confusing, all right? I don't know exactly what that's supposed to mean then. Now, this could lead to some possible legal action versus FTX. And at the end of the day, us as crypto holders, we don't like to see this, guys. We do not like to see this type of stuff because it brings a lot of negativity to the space. In the same sense that I don't really like the BitBoy lawsuit about slander and whatnot that went on recently, even though I like BitBoy as a person, the lawsuit, I think it takes crypto in a really poor context, and the same thing is happening here right now. FTX, one of the most respectable and biggest crypto exchanges, well, if they are misleading people like this, even though it might not be the case, just this statement alone, just these articles alone, created so much FUD for crypto, and I don't like it too much. By the way, guys, I'm going to say it again. If you're enjoying these daily crypto videos, make sure you smash that like button. We've had over 200 people watching. We've only got about 10 likes. So let's get to at least to about 30, 25 or so. Help me out, guys. Helps out a ton. And what's up, David? Welcome back. And let me know, guys. I guess where you're from. I always ask that, though. I'm like, it's my standard thing. Just ask where everybody's watching from. I guess it's because I kind of want to know what area, what time zone you guys are in. And I kind of like to see you guys all connect. If some people are from Utah, another guy says South Africa, another guy says South Africa, and they all like unite. I don't know. I kind of like that. I don't know. To continue on, did FTX cross the line? According to a letter received, we just read that. So here's the possible legal action versus FTX. Therefore, the information being propagated by FTX US is completely incorrect, and legal action might be taken against Crypto Exchange for misrepresenting the name of FDIC. Harrison tweeted on Friday in reaction to the FDIC's warning, "We did not want to mislead anyone, and we did not imply that FTX US or crypto/non-fiat assets are actually covered by FDIC insurance." So it's kind of like I claimed just now. There's just a misunderstanding, literally. The regulator has been outspoken about the lack of insurance coverage for non-bank organizations such as crypto-focused enterprises. And FDIC issued a notification in July instructing U.S. banks that they must examine and manage risks associated with developing third-party agreements with crypto service providers. Which is logical. As I stated before, a lot of funds have gone broke trying to invest in crypto, like, for example, through Celsius or Three Arrows Capital. So this is also not a strange request from a insurer. Crypto is riskier than traditional finance. It is what it is. Now, the agency reaffirmed that while insured bank deposits are covered against default up to $250,000, there's no equivalent protection for crypto companies. So obviously this hit the market by storm. People were like, no, what's going on? FTX lied to us, no. FTX cease and desist, no. When in reality, it's not that bad. And the CEO came up and tried to quickly explain, all right? There's a couple of misrepresentation claims made by the FDIC. Sure, it's kind of scary, I understand. But it's a misconception, no? It's a misunderstanding, as I stated just now. Sam Bankman-Fried says FTX claims of being FDIC insured are a case of miscommunication. FTX was ordered to remove statements, which they did, and the federal agency is clamping down on crypto companies who claim that their services are insured by the agency, which again, to just quickly summarize it yet again, are, where were they now? They are smartassets.com, cryptonews.com, apparently, right, reportedly from this article, cryptosec.info, and FDICcrypto.com, and again, FTX as of this point. I couldn't find any other cryptos. I've only seen the ones that are in this small list right there. And the rest of the situation we described. They've also written a couple of different things to different companies. For example, the FDIC provided examples of the misinformation posted by Crypto News. Quote, Coinbase is one of the few exchanges which is actually regulated and insured by the FDIC. Coinbase is an FDIC insured exchange, meaning that all the funds are kept online. Remaining 2% are protected against theft. And also, eToro US users will be glad to know that their cash funds up to $250,000 are FDIC insured, meaning you are guaranteed to get your funds back, even in the event of eToro's failure. And this specifically is a really scary thing, as I described to you guys, right? So let's say you, and by the way, what's up, guys? A lot of you guys are saying, yo, doodly do. What's up? What's up, Dusty? Thank you for all the hard work. Thank you for stopping by, saying hi. This type of things are so scary because if you, or let's say your dad, your grandma's like, hey, it's properly insured. I can put $250,000 without any risk. It doesn't work like that. If it doesn't work like that, that's a very scary claim to make. And apparently this news website did it for multiple different things. Yeah, that's scary. Apparently Smart Asset said, among other false and misleading statements, Smart Asset published an article on its website entitled List of FDI insured crypto exchanges. This article includes, among other statements, the claim that with those purportedly insured exchanges, if you lose your money on deposit, the FDIC will reimburse those losses up to the program's cap, which again is cap. Yeah, I understand what they're going for. And then last but not least, this is the strangest one, I think. The FDIC also wrote the following in the letter to FDICcrypto.com. There's literally a website for this. What in the world? It's crazy. So the FDIC demands that you cease use of the domain name FDICcrypto.com as well as any similar website domain names immediately. What? Why was this allowed from the get-go anyway? This demand applies to the use of the website with the domain name FDICcrypto.com as well as advertising or consumer-facing documenting referencing FDIC Crypto. The FDIC further demands that within 15 business days of receiving this letter, you provide written confirmation to the undersigned that you have complied with this demand. And CNBC reported that in a letter specifically sent to FTX US, the FDIC said it appeared that on July 20th, we already talked about that stuff before. So, in my opinion, which is also the opinion of this website founder, I guess, and the one writing this, It's incredibly unwise to make it sound as though the FDIC has endorsed or will pay back losses of crypto. Because at the end of the day, I sometimes wonder what happens if, push hits the shove, or shove hits the, what do you say that again? Push hits the shove? Whatever. What happens if the exchange actually goes away? What if you made all these claims and now you have to pay it back, right? But, you guys said, please never put that drinking sound into your microphone. And at first I thought, screw everybody who says that. I'm going to do what I want. But then I was like, you know what? Maybe I'd hate listening to it too. As is to try to make these streams as good of a quality as possible. Maybe I shouldn't do that. But for reference, here's what it sounds like. No, just kidding. All right, sorry. Sorry for everybody's ears. Sorry for everybody. All right, so let's go on with the crypto regulation stuff that people like to see, I guess. Now, Korean regulator takes action against 16 foreign crypto exchanges. Korea is clamping down right now. They're going at it. Take a look. So, the South Korean Financial Intelligence Unit is taking action against 16 foreign crypto exchanges for operating illegally in the country. Illegally! All right? Deport them! For illegal businesses activities of unregistered entities, maximum of 5 years of imprisonment or up to 50 million Korean won of fines can be imposed, the regulator said. That's pretty significant. 16 foreign crypto exchanges flagged by the South Korean regulator, and I kind of don't want to read them out because, these are exchanges that I know and love, but I got to do what I got to do, all right? We got to put up this news, even though I like these exchanges. KuCoin, Mexi, Femex, XT, BitTrue, ZB, BitGlobal, CoinW, CoinX, AX, ZoomX, PoloniX, BTCX, BTCC, DigiFinex, Pionex. You know that almost every single crypto exchange has like an X in it. Did you guys notice that? And it ends with X. Femex, XT, CoinX, AX, ZoomX, PoloniX, BTCX, BTCC, I don't know. Bitfinex, Poloniex. Kind of noticed that just now. But South Korean top... it's the fucking drinking... South Korea's top financial regulator, the Financial Services Commission, announced Thursday that the country's Financial Intelligence Unit has notified investigative authorities about the illegal business activities of 16 unregistered virtual asset service providers. The KOFU is South Korea's financial intelligence unit and the lead agency in the Asian country for anti-money laundering and countering financial yada yada yada. Let's not read that. All 16 crypto exchanges are based outside of Korea without a formal domestic presence, the regulator said, adding that they were found to be engaging in crypto business activities targeting domestic consumers. For example, they offer Korean language website, host promotional events targeting Korean consumers, and provide a payment option that supports the purchase of crypto assets using credit cards in Korea. Now, the KOFU notified foreign-based crypto exchanges on July 22nd, which coincidentally, was that the same date now? No, this is July 20th, okay? Last year, that they must register their business with the authority. However, the 16 aforementioned entities continue to operate in South Korea without obtaining registration. The authority detailed, for illegal business activities of unregistered entities, maximum of 5 years of imprisonment and up to 50 million Korean won. Wait a minute, what? This is $40,000? Wait a minute, am I reading that right? So, this says, for illegal business activities of unregistered entities, a maximum of 5 years of imprisonment, which is heavy, or 50 million Korean won of fines can be imposed, which is absolutely nothing for a crypto exchange. This is like chump change, literally. Can be imposed with a restriction for registering as a VSAP in domestic market for a certain period of time. I guess that is annoying, if you get the restriction. But if that's the worst that can happen, it's not too bad. And who are you going to imprison if they never come into your country, I guess, huh? The regulator explained that financial authorities in the jurisdiction hosting the service providers will be informed and related credit card processing will be halted in the domestic market, and in addition, transfers of virtual assets to and from the 16 unregistered entities were made impossible, as the authorities have issued an administrative guidance requiring suspension of transactions between the registered and unregistered entities, the Koifu described. This basically means if you're in Korea right now, and you're a crypto hodler, this kind of sucks for you if you're using any other exchange than the ones that are, I guess, properly allowed. But basically any exchange. Korea's basically trying to cut you down. Let's put it like that. They don't really like you too much. All right? Korea's not happy with you. Emphasizing that the authorities plan to take the necessary measures to stop crypto service providers from operating without registration in South Korea, the regulator stressed. The Koifu will continue to closely monitor illegal business activities carried out by unregistered entities and maintain close cooperation with relevant authorities, which is not a bad thing. The fact that they're going after them with this stupid things is strange to me, though. Maximum, as I just read, only $40,000 in fines. This should be like $4 million in fines. Then they would be kind of scared to do it if you really want to fix it, right? Now, a debate I don't want to have, but I kind of have to have, has to do, and I'm going to quickly make sure I did not get any crazy statements. Let's quickly see if you guys said anything. I'm going to set it on the phone to see if there's no lag and everything is good. I think we are good to go. Yeah, okay, we're good to go. So, let's quickly talk about this. Uniswap censors 253 crypto addresses blacklisted for crime. Sanctions associations. According to a recently published report, the decentralized exchange Uniswap has blocked roughly 253 crypto addresses allegedly tied to crimes or government sanctions. The information was discovered by the software developer Benteg, who analyzed and saved the shared logs from Uniswap's server. 30 out of the 253 are ENS domain names. Uniswap labels 7 of risk factor categories. This gets kind of difficult, mostly from the perspective that, well, you might have just interacted with something, not knowing that it was not good, basically, and now you get your account blocked. To describe it better, 253 is rather low, right? And it kind of depends on how exactly they look for these things. A bad address could be as much as there's hacked funds on the address, or it was associated with something. But this just showcases that the whole decentralization aspect of Uniswap is not as decentralized as many people assumed. Because if they can block transactions, well, what if, for example, right, we saw earlier that in Canada, they're making it so that some exchanges can only allow people to buy up to $30,000 worth of some altcoins every single year. And people kept posting, oh, just use Uniswap, oh, just use Uniswap. In theory, right now, that's possible, but it's about the idea of what if eventually Uniswap loses their mind, I guess, and just starts to go on the path of, you know what, we're going to make sure that we follow every country's rules. And if the country doesn't want you to buy or sell crypto, for example, we'll just blacklist your address. And I guess in Europe, that's going to be one crazy thing because they already want to make sure that you can never transfer money to an address that's not already known or not KYC'd. This could be really strange then, right? And that's why it sometimes scares me to read this. Even though most likely they thought about it rather properly and this is the best way to go about these things. Bout says, don't worry, guys. Your favorite hackers will still be able to wash the money they've stolen from you guys using the smart contract directly. This just affects the website front end. Contract is permissionless. So that was about this situation. Yeah, at the end of the day, I think most times this isn't a bad thing. Because I'd rather them be able to freeze, for example, my hacked money or being able to ban some guys that are really bad actors. On the other end, I'm thinking, man, it's the same thing as I sometimes say over on Twitter. I really prefer freedom to a certain degree of if I messed up, if the platform I trusted messed up, it is what it is. But let things be free to the people. But I understand both sides. Now, Dusty, did you Canada regs? They are limiting purchases of altcoins to a limit of 30,000 per year. Meanwhile, Canadians can buy and sell as much Bitcoin or ETH and Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin as they desire without limits. Yeah, I saw that. I posted it twice, I think, in the video and the live stream already. The situation in Canada is not everywhere. It's only 2 exchanges that have that right now, so it's not too bad. But I find it kind of strange that they allow for Bitcoin, Ether, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin to just be bought in bulk, and only for, I guess, for all the other ones to basically be blocked. It's like, what? So why is Ethereum now fine? Why is Litecoin now fine? Tristan says, I'm in Canada and don't follow any of that. It's just the exchange limited. I don't think it's the Canadian government limiting, right? So if you don't want to abide by the rules, I don't think you have to. Because I believe it's from Canada's exchanges, but I'm not 1,000% sure on that. Guys, again, I'm going to say it. If you didn't press the like button yet, let's get to 50 likes with 100 people watching. Should be easy. And let's dive into some Ripple news. Also, are you guys holding XRP right now? Let me know in the chat box. I'm reading it. Let me see what you guys are saying. Is any of you guys holding XRP? Or are any of you guys holding XRP? Right now as it currently stands. How many of y'all? Tristan says, our exchanges are crappy anyways. Fair enough. I mean, Canadian exchanges, I don't use them, so I can't tell you. I usually just use Bybit for almost everything. Not really sure exactly what I'm not using Bybit for, so, yeah. Let's see, guys. Let's see how many people are holding XRP. Yeah, pretty good few. Let's see here. We got Jason Valdez. What's up, man? We got Tyler. He says, we can't wait for... Oh, okay. Lobster says, yeah. George the Jungle. George the Jungle. 100%. David says, yes. Greg says, yes. Vulcan says, yes. Tyler says, yes. So I'm guessing the majority of people watching are actually XRP holders as it currently stands. Okay. Let's take a little bit of a look at this. So, Ripple. City mayor in Japan visits to discuss crypto adoption. This was pretty cool to me. The fact that a mayor met up with Ripple. And by the way, this is not like the first time that Ripple's talking to governments. We saw a couple of cool things that I'm trying to connect the dots for anyway. We saw earlier this. The Central Bank of Colombia is studying the creation of digital currency. And if you guys remember, over in Colombia, they're also working together with Ripple for these... or rather, they're working with the XRP ledger for the storage of house deeds, right? So the fact they're also looking for a creation of a digital currency leads me to kind of think, what if they, since they're already working with the XP ledger for house deeds, might be looking for Ripple to continue on with this? Just thinking about it. But actually, it's somewhere in the article, I think right here. Here we go, actually. It's this one. Ripple CEO in talks with Georgia's prime minister on crypto adoption. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to me to see how Ripple is always getting into these massive deals, massive partnerships and whatnot. It's always kind of interesting. So when I talk about partnerships in this sense, I actually mean that Ripple gets some sort of partnership with an official government through just talking and explaining the situation. It's the same thing why I always think that they're going to do pretty well in terms of the CBDC realm, because they know so much about this space. So they have the opportunity to talk about these central banks, or talk to these central banks, talk to these regulators, before they actually go ahead and make stuff, to explain to them what the best way or different ways to make stuff are. Same thing that they're doing, even though they're not really unique in that, but with FedNow, explaining to the US how CBDCs can help out the economy and how they potentially could also provide in all of that. But yeah, it's just a small little piece of news. A mayor of a pretty Web3 open city over in Japan. I'm assuming it's a city, right? Thought maybe it's like a district or so. Fukuoka is a leading city in Web3 initiatives in Japan. And today, Mayor Takashima of Fukuoka City and people from the International Department visited Ripple's headquarters. Quote, I have high hopes for Fukuoka City, which is actively working on Web3, end quote. So that is pretty good. Not too much to cover on that regards, just some juicy good news. And yeah, let me quickly go on with more. So, regarding Cardano, a lot of you guys have been wondering about Cardano, exactly what's going on with it, and why it is broken or something along those lines, why I put that in the title. The story is actually pretty simple, to be honest with you guys. Let me actually zoom in a little bit, because I'm noticing it could be better. There we go. Should also maybe put it more like this. There we go. Good. So, the story is actually pretty interesting. Cardano is catastrophically broken. Charles Hoskinson refutes claims of Vasil upgrade being rushed. Another article. Charles Hoskinson disbands criticism, saying the upgrade to 1.35.3 code was actually tested for months. And then we have a little bit more. Charles Hoskinson says he is tired of taking the blame over ADA's delayed upgrades. If you're wondering what went on, there was this claim that Cardano is officially broken. It actually came from, let's take a look. It all started when Adam Dean, a prominent Cardano ecosystem developer, tweeted on Thursday that the Cardano testnet was catastrophically broken due to a bug discovered in node version 1.35.2. This bug was only discovered because operators, SPOs, rushed to upgrade on mainnet and it was creating incompatible forks and causing a decrease to chain density, end quote, wrote Adam, referring to a bug found in July but fixed. Following the detection of the bug, Cardano released a new client software node version 1.35.3, which is presently incapable of syncing with the previous node and is now running on 2 testnets without block history. According to Adam, although the community had previously told that the node was tested and ready for the Vaso hard fork, the bug had not been fixed after being discovered. To say that this level of rushing gives me an uneasy feeling is an understatement, Adam added. If there were a nuclear clock for Cardano, we got perilously close to hitting midnight. On Friday, though, Hoskinson discredited claims of the testnet being rushed, terming such assertions as bizarre and alarmist. The code in question has been thoroughly tested for months by everyone, including stake and pool operators. Charles tweeted, adding that the code that was an issue on the testnet had been removed. He went on to suggest that whereas delaying the Vaso upgrade for a few months to retest the code was still an option for the community, he disapproved of it considering the many delays that have rocked Vaso. So, if you're wondering what it's all about, it's called the most significant update for a reason. The Vaso hard fork is set to bring significant performance and scalability improvements to the world's largest proof-of-stake network, Cardano. And despite Vaso being delayed several times, a soft date of June 29th should have been the date, but it didn't be, or it wasn't. Why? Well, there's a little bit of a delay, and Hoskinson says that the 1.35.3 code has been thoroughly tested, and retesting it will only hurt the app developers, so it's not necessary. But there's a really big debate about this one. We, of course, could, as a community, delay the launch of Vaso for a few months to retest the code if there's such a criticism and such a scaredness about it. Let me actually do something, guys. Give me just a second. Let me actually go to portrait here. Full screen. Give me a second to quickly just change my display to a different color. I'm going to put up a different color so we hopefully have a little bit more light. There we go. This is smart. This is what I always do. Then we go back to here, half screen, and then normal mode again. Fixed. All right. We, of course, could as a community delay the launch of Vaso for another few months to retest the code that's already been tested a dozen times and is already running. Is that worth it to all the DM developers who have been waiting for this upgrade for almost a year now? He's kind of saying, no, it isn't. And, he's trying to say the whole thing that people are being completely crazy about right now makes no sense. At least that's what he is trying to say. Some dissatisfied Cardano enthusiasts quickly fired back at Hoskinson. One user stated that IOG, which is previously IOHK, the blockchain research and engineering company that developed Cardano, has been quiet about the catastrophic death in 135.2, and out of the blue, staking pool operators are being asked to upgrade to the latest version. Hoskinson replied, arguing that the company was not quiet about it. He noted that the reason for 135.3 was the issue found on the testnet, adding that respinning another testnet provides no value for the vulnerability. Instead, it will only cause unnecessary delays that would hurt DApp developers. So when will Vaso go live? And that's the scary part, the strange part, whatever. The Vaso hard fork is highly anticipated, right? Everybody's watching for it. Everybody's waiting for it over in the Cardano community. But supposedly designed to enhance Cardano's scalability and overall usability while making the blockchain more attractive to smart contracts and dApps. The upgrade was initially expected to go live June 29th, as we stated earlier, this year, but was postponed several times due to vulnerabilities and other issues. It is unclear as of this point when it will go through, though. However, Hoskinson noted that in the end, the nodes running the network would ultimately decide when to initiate the hard fork, not Charles Hoskinson, which a lot of people are claiming. Oh, Charles Hoskinson delayed it yet again. Oh my days, Charles Hoskinson did it again. Considering that Cardano is a decentralized blockchain, it's for the providers to make these choices. It's not him himself. So yeah, that's kind of funny. I read about that pretty often. But he's tired of this, he says. He's literally tired of taking the blame over the late upgrades because, well, they can upgrade if they want to. It's not in his hands anymore to do all this stuff. And he's saying everything is basically ready. If you want to test, it's not necessary. Any bug that was there was fixed. All things are good. It's all on the testnet. It's not a big problem. So I'm not really sure where the problem lies. Is Cardano broken was the question at hand. Not really. A lot of people are claiming this right now for, in my opinion, really strange reason. There's also this inherent thought of people saying that Cardano is going to break the moment that Ethereum moves to proof of stake. The only thing I like to say about it is right now Cardano is the biggest proof of stake, right? But I wonder how that's going to turn out when Ethereum moves to proof of stake. How far, I mean, in terms of percentages, maybe Cardano is going to still stay on top. But in terms of anything else, basically, I think Ethereum is then going to pretty quickly win that battle, right? As soon as people switch over. You know, Solana and Cardano were facing a really interesting battle for the longest amount of time. But yeah, I mean, Ethereum is so much bigger. It's over 10 times bigger than Cardano. I think they'd easily win the battle. Maybe not in percentage, though, of people involved with actually staking Ethereum. But in terms of everything else, I think they'd drastically win. It's interesting to think about. There was also this article here, and this is not something you really need, but it's just for fun's sake. You know, I found it. I was like, you know what? Let me share it with y'all. 10 traditional companies that are moving into crypto despite the market downturn. JP Morgan, Santander, BlackRock, Schwab Asset Management, Chipotle, Checkout.com, Fairfax County Retirement Systems, Ontario Teachers Pension Plan Board, Commerzbank, and Fidelity. And what do you do with this information? Kind of nothing. You know, these providers have been in the space for a long time, at least as far as I can look from the names here. BlackRock is doubling down. Santander and JP Morgan have been in for a long time. Santander obviously involved with Ripple. JP Morgan involved with a lot of different things. Schwab Asset Management, I don't honestly know exactly what they're doing. Chipotle, we saw the very big ad, I believe, with Dogecoin and whatnot, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Checkout.com, I don't even know exactly what this is supposed to be, but I'm guessing this is for checkout online things. So here they announced a stablecoin settlement solution. I guess what I can just kind of fetch from this, what I can portray to you guys from just reading this, a lot of these crypto companies a lot of traditional companies are heavily getting into crypto regardless of what you're thinking, right? Regardless of what you're saying, regardless of what they're spoon feeding into your head, they're already getting into it. And the most important thing to understand with that is there's most likely not going to be a moment where they're going to say, oh, yeah, crypto's at this main adoption point, or, oh, yeah, buy crypto now, or what? Because the biggest bull signal you could have ever gotten was BlackRock opening up to Bitcoin and saying, hey, we're going to allow for this because our institutional clients have such high demand for it. If you didn't buy purely because of that happening, then I don't know exactly what more of a bullish reason you could get. What exactly could draw you in more than an announcement like that? It's really, really hard to say. That was one of the most bullish things ever for crypto thus far. So when you're seeing lists like this, where it's just basically put in front of you that all these major institutions are buying this crypto stuff, yeah, what else? What else do you need to become bullish on crypto? And I guess that the majority of you guys watching this are already bullish and already just like neck deep into crypto. But still, a lot of people are so doubtful, and I don't understand it. I really don't. I really, really don't understand it. But yeah, I guess I've committed my life to this craft. You know, I'm into crypto full time. I guess I don't do anything else. I guess Instagram stuff I do a little bit. And I guess you could call me a social media guy, right? But I consider myself to be a crypto guy to the fullest because it's basically what I do every single day for the majority of my day. And I like it the most. I think this space is so revolutionary. It's going to change so much. Let me actually go ahead and put a little section in here. I'm going to put it in my timestamps later on for Ask Me Anything. If you have a question, put it down right now. Just put it down and I'm going to answer a question. So I'm seeing one question right now. Risto saying, is 10,000 XP enough? Depends on your goal. If your goal is to retire with 10,000 XRP, it's going to be kind of clutch, but it also depends on what country. You know, I think a lot of places in India, for example, it might be easier to retire with than over in America. And the same thing goes for a lot of places like, for example, some parts of Egypt might be a lot easier to retire with, you know, let's say $100,000 than somewhere in America. And so that ball kind of rolls on further. You know, it depends on your place, it depends on how much money you need, depends on whether or not you already have a home, even if you're in the US, right? And it kind of depends on your perspective of a lot of things. I personally think $100 per XRP, for example, is not too crazy, but at the end of the day, it's not so close by either. Risto Ads says, nope, I'm in the EU and my goal is 50,000 euros. So that basically says, okay, will XRP eventually go to $5 is basically what you're asking me. Well, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Can I guarantee that for you? Absolutely not. I'm not a financial advisor, but I think so personally. So, yeah. Steve says, my $20 and $15 a pop is pretty slow. Not exactly sure what you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about Ethereum. There's a little discussion about Ethereum before there, I guess. Christopher says Apple and Google add Bitcoin to the balance sheet would be huge. I personally think they eventually will. It's just a matter of time. It's a waiting game. I mean, the CEO, Tim Cook of Apple, already has Bitcoin. One of the co-founders of Apple, Steve Wozniak, also pretty bullish on Bitcoin. What else do you really need, you know? These guys know about it. Have you seen ABT Arc Block? Don't know what it is. Don't know about it. Have not seen it. Do not hold it. No idea. No. There's actually a lot of people who comment that very often. Like, hey, do you know about this coin? Are you holding this coin that I've never heard of? I might have heard about it at some point, right? A lot of the coins that you guys mentioned, but that does not mean I'm bullish on them or recommend, within brackets, recommend as, you know, personal idea, not financial advice of them. I think Charles and Ripple should join forces. I think Charles and Ripple are pretty good together. You know, Charles is also, I think, on the side of Ripple in their lawsuit, saying that it's kind of unfair and kind of stupid. Cyrix says, partnership with Amazon and Microsoft. Could be, man. I'm going to check it out then if you really want. Dusty, I don't know what that means. What do you think of AMP? Didn't AMP get into the... Didn't Coinbase have trouble with AMP? What tokens did were mentioned in Coinbase's lawsuit again? Wasn't AMP one of them? Guys, I cover crypto news every single day, right? My brain is filled with crypto news. That's the first one in the list. 9 asks a question: are AMP, Rally, Deriva, X, or Dex, or XYO? A lot of you guys were commenting, it's actually not XYO, it's like XYO. Shut your XYO, or I'm going to say it however I want to say it. Rari governance token. Who in the world is buying this? Okay. LCX, Power Ledger, DFX Finance, and Chromatica. For that reason, I'm a little bit more skeptical on AMP, but I honestly am also a little bit too ignorant to know exactly what they do. Let me type it in. Let me see exactly. What does AMP bring to the table again? Man, I have so many cryptos in my head. What does AMP exactly do? Rank 107, and they do. AMP is described as the... Let me just show it to y'all. AMP is described as the new digital collateral token offering instant verifiable assurances for any kind of value transfer. Using AMP, networks like Flexa can quickly and irreversibly secure transactions for a wide variety of asset-related use cases. Okay. AMP claims to offer a straightforward but versatile interface for verifiable collateralization through a system of collateral partitions and collateral managers, where collateral partitions can be designated to collateralize any account, application, or even transaction, and carry balances which are directly verifiable on the Ethereum blockchain. I see. Token. Clock, release, and redirect collateral in these partitions and needed. So it's pretty interesting. It's an interesting concept at least. However, yeah, the Coinbase stamp of security and them not having a good way to defend themselves is not really a good foresight. So am I bullish on the matter? I think it's kind of scary. Did it sound interesting? Sure. They sound interesting. Pretty much so. Yeah, pretty cool. Not going to lie. Pretty cool. XRP or Matic? Depends on your time frame. Short term, Matic looks better. Long term, XRP, I think, way will outperform it. Way. Okay, you guys are all talking about ABT. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but let's see. I've seen this before, but I don't know. So it's not a coin I hold. It's a platform for building and deploying dApps. It builds itself as a complete blockchain 3 product platform to build and deploy. Okay, it's another platformer, not special whatsoever. So can I give you the seal of approval? Absolutely not. Unless you guys can convince me through some crazy partnerships or so. But as it explained, it's just one of the many. So is it cool? No, not really. Is it liquid? Debatable. Not really. Very small token. So not necessarily bullish on that. Casper. So many people comment about Casper, but I don't hold any, and that's mostly because I think a lot of these guys are pushing something onto you, which is mwah. But this is Casper. I think is more than the $100 million market cap. What is Casper? Launched on mainnet March 30th. Casper is the first live proof-of-stake blockchain built at the Casper CBC specification. Casper platform is designed to boost the adoption of blockchain tech, smart contract dApps with the future-proof architecture. Casper is designed to ensure the platform is continually developed according to the evolving needs of the user, and that it's maximally accessible to developers of all backgrounds. As per the official white paper, Casper is optimized to suit both enterprises and developer needs. Casper's mission is to usher in a new era for Web3 as demand for intuitive, interconnected services continues to grow across the board. Casper does so by solving the adoption trilemma, offering enterprise-grade security, scalability, and decentralization, all within the same blockchain protocol. This is too little. All right, we need some more data. Here we go. Apparently, against proof of stake, completely decentralized approach. Cool, it's all the same. Future-proof design. Upgradable smart contracts and predictable gas fees. Good, but not that crazy. Okay, here we go maybe. Additionally, Casper is introducing a new standard for blockchain energy consumption and is 140,000% more energy efficient than Bitcoin, which is not a flex either anymore. The initiative correction by construction, Casper, oh, there we go. Correct by construction Casper specification is a remarkable feature on the network. This specification allows for the rapid adoption of blockchain services on all enterprise levels. By relying on the POS consensus, Casper ensures scalability and database management solutions. Casper and the Casper token are the result of years of research by Casper Labs. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Further, Casper Labs exists to provide enterprise-level services and support organizations building on the Casper network. This is not cool at all. All the same, all the same, all the same. Ooh. Thanks to the team's unique experience running services at enterprise software organizations like these big ones, it's poised to... Okay, but that means nothing to me either. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's not too bad. Not too bad. I'd have to look further into it, but that's not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Thought it was more shitty than that, so, okay. Okay. XRP, XLM, Algo, QNT, IOTA, DAG, and HBAR. Yeah, pretty good list. I like those. Hyperledger partnership as well. I highly recommend looking into RC Block. I don't know, my friend. Is XDC connected to XRP in any way? It depends on how far you want to fetch that. You know, can you say that QNT, for example, is the interlinker for everything? You can surely say that. Can you say that all these things are still set alone, set aside? You can still say that. It depends. Can they all work together? In some way, shape, or form, sure. Will it all work together? It depends on how far adoption goes. So, I think some YouTubers just get paid to promote, not Dusty. Regarding Casper, you mean, or what? Could be. I don't know what their promotion campaign is looking like. BitGert claims the gas fee is 0 per transaction, while the supposed throughput is 100,000 TPS. I wonder. 100,000 TPS. I mean, it could be if you're completely centralized. That's not a flex anymore nowadays. I guess 0.0001 is still low, but by the way, this is a very important thing. Anybody saying that a transaction fee of below 0.000001, for example, is good, doesn't understand why a transaction fee is there to begin with. If there's no transaction fee, you can clutter the network like crazy. So there's a little, I guess, let's call it like this, of throughput and transaction fees, right? So the higher you put the transaction fee, theoretically speaking, the higher the throughput can be. Because, you know, every single person is basically verifiable, or at least they paid for it to pull that transaction through. And there's also on the opposite side, people who want to verify that. In a more centralized system, this becomes easier, obviously, as there's less connections that need to be made for the throughput to be higher, which makes things easier. Then again, usually the fee has to be higher as well. But it's just kind of, that's why I put that little tent up there. Now, the lower the fees go, the higher the throughput could be, right? You think, well, if we're talking in a decentralized system where, you know, there's no coming together, it's just these guys can instantly make the choice, this TPS could be as high as you basically would want it to, because what's the difference, right? It's like a click. It's like a little bits change or so, but basically it doesn't matter. The only reason why they're choosing it to be something, same thing for XRP, why they're choosing it to be 11 drops, is because if it were 0 or nearly 0, is the same thing as why you'd never want 0 fees on an exchange. You get crazy wash trading, or you get crazy manipulation. With networks, you get crazy amounts of traffic. Why don't they just initiate 70 trillion transactions, cluttering up the entire network? I mean, it doesn't matter, right? I could do the smallest amount 1 trillion times. Who's going to stop me? Normally, there's a fee because now it's going to cost me money, right? If I want to do 70 trillion transactions, it might cost me, let's say, $50,000. To which, on the other side, there's somebody willing to say, you know what? For that amount of transactions, preferably not, but okay, I'll accept it because I'm getting paid for it. With no transaction fee, it's pretty, yeah, you understand? So that low of a fee is not a flex. It's just getting the fee as low as possible with the highest amount of decentralization that's a flex. So having a high TPS and a low fee means almost nothing necessarily. Depends on the decentralization that they have. But yeah, you understand now, hopefully. Kevin Cage talks about Casper a lot. Same thing with King Solomon. Solomon is a pretty good guy. You know, honestly, I like him a lot. He posts a lot of value, posts some crazy value, to be honest with you. I think he's actually one of the best. Kevin Cage, I don't know anything about. With Solomon or Kevin Cage, are they being paid? Ask them. I have zero insights on this, so there's nothing that I can help you with there. It could just be that they really enjoy that crypto or think it's good. In the same sense that a lot of people might have thought that XDC was like a promotional campaign. Yet, in my opinion, it's pretty juicy. I've never been... By the way, all right, XRP, XDC, QNT, HBAR, all these cryptos that we talk about every single day, I have no connection to them. Any crypto that we talked about today, I have zero connection to any of these projects. Maybe if I try my best, I can be in contact with them, but just know, right? I have no connection to them whatsoever. So if you think anything is paid right here, I'll tell you if something is sponsored. I put a sponsor tag up there, and you'll know, all right? Unfortunately not. It would be good if Ripple came in and said, hey, Dusty, your boy, we enjoy your work. Or if Cardano was like, man, thank you for all these videos. Here's money, all right? You cover us for free, but here's money. But they don't, unfortunately. But it is what it is, all right? Maybe at some point, though. You never know. Still waiting for that email. Yeah. Still waiting for the email. I've been waiting for about 6.5 years. But I don't think it's going to happen with XRP specifically. But my DMs are open, Ripple. Come on. Send it to me. I don't think so. Heaven Cage ain't getting paid to promote Casper. Man, I don't care. I don't know. You do you, my friend. Figure it out for yourself. We can go back and forth. You and I both don't know. All right? At the end of the day, even I can claim whatever the frick I want. I'm saying, no, Ripple's not paying me for XRP. In hindsight, I'm being paid. How are you going to know, right? If I signed an NDA with them and... Okay, but Ripple, they're too big of a company. They will get fined out. But you understand what I mean, right? If it's some small-ass company, they signed a private agreement, how are you going to find out? So I don't know about that one. I guess you're going to have to trust the people from the bottom of your heart. And in my case here, I have nothing to lose. I'll tell you if something's being paid because I'd rather have you knowing it's being paid than not because it helps me out as well, right? If the thing then, for example, let me put it in the best way. If I explain to you that I'm being paid to talk about it, I think people take a little bit more caution with it. So if anything ever happens to it, which at the end of the day, you hope not, if you're going to talk about it and being paid for it, you hope it's going to do well because that's the whole point. But at least people know, hey, it was a paid section. It's the same thing for earbuds, right? Let's say you're getting a sponsor for earbuds. I'd rather say, hey, this is being, it's a paid promotion. That's why I'm wearing these earbuds than you wearing them without, saying, oh, these are so good. I don't know. It's just some ethical point. But at the end of the day, you will not know, though, unless... what do you think will perform better, Moonbeam or Casper? That's a comparison I have no idea from. Like, Moonbeam or Casper? I don't know Casper well enough to make this decision for you. What's the deal between XRP and Flare? How benefits to XRP holders? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. So Flare would have been a lot more important had the checks feature not been proposed for the XP ledger, and it would basically just allow for smart contracts onto any network. Specifically, for example, XP ledger, it would just be able to run smart contracts in some way, shape, or form. Would have been rather important had they not decided to go for some checks feature and whatnot. But as it currently stands, I'm not so sure why Flare is such a big deal anymore. They used to be a bigger deal than they are now. By the way, guys, if you're watching this right now, we've had about 1,000 people stop by. We have 120 legends watching right now. Press that like button. Let's get to 100 likes instantly. And also, guys, don't forget, I'm running a $10,000 giveaway right now. If you've not joined it yet, make sure you join. There's nothing you can lose from joining it. There's no negative side to it. I'm doing this because, as I told you before, I started my crypto YouTube channel. All right? I've done this YouTube channel for a long time. The crypto part of this YouTube channel, because I want a giveaway. That's it. And I can give it back, so I'm going to give it back. I hope to start, at least kickstart a lot of people's careers this way. And so I'm thinking sometimes, maybe I should do $10,000 split over, let's say, 500 people. Because my giveaway that I won was like not much money at all. But the negative side to it is it's a lot of work to make sure that's spread a lot out. And as I saw before with my $2,500 giveaway with 10 people, the problem with that was that people take some time to respond. And from the logistics side, from my end, it can take a little bit of a time. So let's say it takes, for example, a month to deliver my reward to people. That's fine if it's 10 people. It's pretty easy to just tell them, hey, wait a little bit. I've put in the orders, but it's going to take a little bit of a while to go through my I don't want to say compliance, but through my layers, basically. Because my team, the DustDBC team, is actually a lot of people. Some people commented this before. There's no DustDBC team. I have a lot of employees or partners, I guess, in the DustDBC bracket now. It's actually become rather a big enterprise, so to speak. As we also have a VC and everything. It's a big thing. So any payment, any giveaway goes through a couple of different loops, and it takes some time. Now, if there's 10 people, it's easy. If there's, let's say, 700 people that want to give away, I need to make sure that it's really done quickly, or I'm going to get massive amounts of panic. And that's the reason why I chose to do 10 people, because it's easier to manage. I can easily just tell them, hey, for example, it's going to take 3 weeks from now, you're going to have your money in your account. Is that fine? And they'll all say yes. Otherwise, I'd pick somebody else if they said, no, I want it now. But normally people don't really mind when you're giving them free money. So specifically if it's $1,000 and they have to wait 3 weeks for it, they're not going to be like, what? Usually they're pretty cool with that anyway. Yeah, most people were really happy. So last giveaway that was. All right, let's see. Thanks Tristan, love your work, man. Love you guys for stopping by. We got to 70 likes exactly, I think. 70? Yeah, 70 exactly where we're at right now. But it's good. QNT at 100. QNT, I think, is one of the best cryptos out there, man. It's pretty huge, actually. It's huge, QNT. Yeah, I've only started to really develop my QNT knowledge over the last couple of months. But honestly, just this little sheet here, I'm not sure if you guys can see this properly. It's fine. Just this little sheet here, just showcasing the QNT token, at least. The utility for, and the necessity of people to have this token. To me, it was just crazy to realize this and think about this. It's like, what? Is it that huge? Yeah, it is that huge. It's just kind of crazy to realize and think about. Let's see what you guys are saying. All crypto follows Bitcoin and ETH no matter how good the blockchain is. As of this point, yes, but that might switch up at some point, right? Which is what everybody's watching out for as well. That doesn't have to stay that way forever. By the way, guys, if you're not yet subscribed to the DustDBC channel, I highly recommend you guys to do so, because we're going to be doing live streams every single day from now on. At least for the next week, at least I'm going to try this. When I'm overseas, for example, when I'm going to Paris next month, or if I'm going to Amsterdam in, I think, 2 months, I might not be able to stream every single day, but I'm going to try to keep this up as best as possible. Ooh, I saw some loading. I thought our channel got banned again. Did you guys know I've actually been banned a couple of times during our streams, which is always a really scary endeavor. That's always scary because I don't cover anything like bad, yet sometimes YouTube is watching me thinking, let's get this guy or something like that. I don't know exactly what they're watching this for and what they're thinking. But yeah, Silva says, good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. What do you think about Alpha? Alpha was one of my best cryptocurrency buys ever. I bought it when it was ETH Lend. I bought it because my bot went to DCA in that crypto many, many times. I had a big bag of it, and then it turned out to do like I don't remember, maybe like a 70x or so. And that was the craziest crypto journey for me. That was like the one that kickstarted my transition to become a crypto whale, I guess. From being just a casual crypto degenerate to really involving my entire life around crypto. Was because of Ava. So it has a special place in my heart. I have to meet those Ava people at some point. I think I have to give them a little kiss on the cheek, Yeah, because those guys, they did me good. They did me good. I really appreciate them for that still. They didn't think about me. It ain't about that one. But I appreciate them for going through the troubles of making that. And making my money do really good. And that's the fun thing about it as well. Guys, a lot of cryptos that you're buying right now thinking they're garbage, all right? A lot of those will become valuable gold at some point, and the vice versa as well. A lot of cryptos that you think are good right now will become garbage. There was one crypto that I put at least one Bitcoin, but it might have been more. I don't quite remember. Let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. This crypto, I put at least one Bitcoin in, but it might have been 10 Bitcoin. I think it's one Bitcoin, though. I have so many crazy Bitcoin buy stories that I'm mixing them up right now. This crypto had at least one of my Bitcoins. How much is it worth now? $1 million, fully diluted market cap, $720,000 market cap, right? One Bitcoin went down the drain because, wait a minute, yeah, because of Encash. I didn't even know it was called Nitro Network. Encash took one of my sacred Bitcoins back in 2017, 18, and I still dread them to this day, all right? They were doing pretty well at the time. They were doing pretty good, looked pretty good. And that is also another story of why you never go aping into a crypto that is looking good in the short term. You want to stick with the behemoths or the ones that have proper backing. I always look for the proper VCs backing these things around. Even then, I spread my money around. Any guru claiming you should go for 3 to 4 cryptos ever, I think is a maniac, right? And the reason I keep saying that is because if you spread your crypto only around 4 or 5 crypto, there's a good chance eventually it's just going to get some sort of scandal. Let's see, for example, with Banter going 50-50s into Luna. You see what happened to them, right? You lost $100 million this way. Now, in hindsight, that wasn't the smartest of moves. On another end, though, he made a freaking ton of money through Luna, so I also understand that you kept it in. But in hindsight, that wasn't the smartest thing. But yeah. And also, I guess from a certain perspective, I can understand why people would only hold a few, in the sense that I hold the majority of my funds in XRP right now. But I'm also, from a logical perspective, from an investor perspective, I think, no, it's not smart. There's too many negative sides to it, so it's just not a smart thing to do. I also at some point had the chance to invest into Fire, this 5IRE, and it's apparently now a unicorn, but I never did because they had I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that. Never mind. Little side story. I actually invested in so many crypto companies, and you guys don't even know. It's pretty crazy. The amount of crypto things I've invested into over the last year. That's why I consider myself to be investor rather than crypto influencer or something like that. But yeah. Any questions more, guys? I put this as a Ask Me Anything type of section of the video. As we've covered all the news before, we've already been streaming for like 45 minutes now, an hour already. So I made this section the Ask Anything. ETH update. There's no ETH update. The merge is coming up. It's 96% complete. Things are doing good for that. And there's nothing else to say about it, Yeah, it's 96% complete, 97% complete almost. It's going to be happening September 15th. Not much else to tell you about that. Any chance to hear your opinion on Litecoin? Litecoin is pretty good in terms of the fact that it's stable. Litecoin has not gone down in the last, 10 years or so, it feels like. The negative side to Litecoin is that it's pretty garbage in almost any way, shape, or form else. It's good in the sense that it never goes down. It's pretty solid, but for the rest, it's pretty garbage in my opinion. Let's see how low these ETH fees will be. We'll have to see about that. We'll have to completely see. I honestly am 0% certain about what the fees will look like after this merge. Again, guys, we have the beacon chain, we have the mainnet chain coming together, which is why it's called a merge. Whether or not it's going to be good, juicy, we'll have to wait. We'll have to see about that. We'll have to see about that one. I can't predict the future. This merge is an interesting situation. We've never seen something like this before. Of such a big network that's worth so many millions upon millions of dollars. Billions and billions of dollars, $190 billion, all put at risk for an update. It's kind of scary, Bitcoin trends, news, and education says, how bottom ETH goes down which amount? I have no idea what you mean. You mean how low can Ethereum go? That's a hard question. Ethereum's down 7% today, which I think is good. I hope it falls down more. I think a lot of this has to do with, of course, the stock market looking negative at the end of the week, as this big options expiry was there of $2 trillion. Bitcoin moving down leads Ethereum to move down. Ethereum is a I actually put this in my previous video. So guys, if you're wondering about the Ethereum merge, go onto my channel and go to my previous stream. All right, after this, obviously, because I made an entire section here in my previous stream. Let me show it to you guys. You can see it here. An entire section in my previous stream was about the Ethereum merge situation. Right here you can see I spent about 7 minutes or so talking about the Ethereum merge and everything that's going on. So if you have questions about it, just go back on my channel and take a look at that stream right there. That's my best suggestion for you, because we talked about everything already. ADA will go to the moon soon. Look at the RSI, the stochastic RSI in like every time frame. I honestly think ADA's in a really good position. I don't know what else to tell you. They're just waiting for the upgrade, and as long as the upgrade doesn't happen, people are going to be bearish. But I don't think it's bad. DeFi Mills says that was a horrible analysis of ABT. Again, I don't have any information. We're just looking at what is given at face value. Again, you got to understand from my perspective, I don't know who's in this chat box trying to promote some garbage ass token, who's trying to promote some really good utility. All I'm looking at is just the little small coin market cap page. As I said before, I don't know anything about it, so there's no good analysis to be given. All I'm saying is, it's just kind of generic, reading from the text. As I always will state, usually these projects go pretty far. But it's kind of hard to see from, 2 minutes of watching something. If it says it's a platformer like Casper in that little section, I don't even know what ABT was about anymore, it's kind of hard to derive anything from that. You have to look further into what exactly makes it unique, for example, as a platformer. But you can't really do that in 5 seconds. Great channel, Dusty. Blacktopia, question mark? Blacktopia, hold. but it's a metaverse type of thing, right? And the metaverse right now is in a little bit of a strange situation, as we've seen with Meta doing not so good right now. I call that the metaverse will have another crazy rise at some point. It might take another year or so. But the moment that the metaverse rises again, Blocktopia and things of that nature will do extremely well. So it's just a timing issue. Right now, metaverse crypto are not that juicy. Meta is also not doing so well. Eventually, they'll recoup, though, and they'll do pretty well if you ask me. So it's like a seasonal thing, or you understand what I said, right? You have to see how the flow moves type of thing. GRT token, good or bad? The graph. Yeah, it used to be pretty good. I have not seen any update for the graph in a couple of months, though. They've gone down pretty good in price. Same thing for Internet Computer, which is a completely different token, completely different concept. But both of those had some really good parts of it, but I have not seen any update for both of those in a really good while. But the graph, yeah, I do hold some graph. I'm not. It's a good, at least in my opinion, it was a good project. And Coinbase was also in their ass a little bit. They were supporting it a lot. I don't remember what the connections were again, though. But graph is, in my opinion, pretty good. Not sure if I'd buy more right now because I just don't know. But Manuel says, "Hey Dusty, how are you here from Portugal? What do you think? What do you heard about Anchor token? I actually met up with the Anchor people not too long ago. Yeah, what was it now? But the Anchor people, I think I met up with them in okay, it was actually a little while ago. It was almost a year ago, I think. Now it was like maybe when was the Binance conference in Dubai? That was Blockchain Week Dubai. Oh, it was actually in March. I met up with the Anchor people to ask some questions about it. But I don't hold that much Anchor, but the people are really nice. Things are good. I believe that was Anchor. Yeah. So that was also good. But yeah. Tristan says, I thought ICP would have been huge. It's crazy how ICP's story is gone. But yeah, I should have put on my lights here before. All right. Bitcoin Trend says, I take ETH 1850 and goes for a long position. My liquidation point is 1350. What can I do? Any suggestions from your side? I have no suggestions for that, my friend. You have to figure it out. You've already opened up a position and asking for my advice. I can't give you that, man. I mean, you opened a trade. For what reason did you open it? If your fundamentals say, stay in, you stay in. If your analysis says get out, get out. But it's up to you, my friend. Things are dumping right now, though. Damn. If things continue on like this, I'll open up another live stream, guys, and we'll talk about exactly what I think is happening to the space. But I'm going to have to do some research right now. I'm going to look up some more crypto informational pieces. It is almost it's 9-something, though. So I'm going to have to eat something, Mans get hungry after streaming all day. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure you press the like button. I'm going to do some research on why things are dumping. And I might be back in half an hour. Who knows, right? I'm going to look up exactly what's happening in crypto. And I have a couple of things coming up later today. So make sure that, guys, you either subscribe or follow me over on Twitter. Or just join the giveaway and then you're actually following me on every platform. That's also good. Because maybe I'll open up another stream in half an hour and we'll discuss exactly the situation. And maybe even, guys, maybe we get the chance to open up a crazy long position shortly. I will update you guys then as well if we're going to open up a crazy trade. Because I hired, again, a whole new team of technical analysts, guys. And we're killing it in the trading game. I'm adding updates on Telegram, but we also have a new YouTube channel and everything. Oh, things are looking good. Things are looking good. So I'm going to have to share a lot of news with you guys. But yeah. Stick around. I'd say subscribe to the channel and make sure you just follow on Twitter for smaller updates. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today. Thank you guys all so much for stopping by. See y'all later.